Hey guys, my name is Stars, or as a lot of people call me, Mel or Tookie. I'm actually here to give you a quick walkthrough through the Leap of Faith, which is part of Shar's Temple in Act 2, where you're helping Shadowheart try and become a Justicar. If you obviously picked her up, otherwise, no matter what, I still recommend going through this temple, not necessarily doing these trials. But the reason why I'm doing the Faith Leap is this was actually the puzzle I had the most trouble with. And I'm going to show you guys and walk you through exactly what my issues were, so that way you can kind of understand my thought process of why I deemed this was necessary. So as you can tell, I'm getting closer. You kind of saw that tile a little bit, but as I get closer, these disappear. So imagine trying to do this puzzle, and I'm jumping from right here, walking across these little platforms, jumping up there, and then I gotta remember what was right here. But that's just in this area. I don't know what's on the other side. So it's kind of so hard to do something I don't know what's on the other side. So with this puzzle, I died I can't tell you how many times. I used so many Revivify scrolls. I started looking up answers and people were like, oh, just do the flight glitch, do this. I did all those. They didn't work. Probably by the reason why by the time I got back to playing this game, they had patched those glitches. So I'm still trying to find answers, and finally I saw a post on Reddit, of all things. The answer to the puzzle is right here. These are literally the paths of those exact tiles. The bad thing is with me, I'm not going to remember those tiles. Unless I take a picture of them, which I'm like, I don't want to do that. So all I did was actually memorize this little corner. The reason being is because if you picked up Lae'zel and Karlach, they have the best jumps in the games. They don't need potions to do the vaults or anything like that. They don't have to do anything like that. They have the best jumps already. So using that in mind, and like I said, I only remember that corner. The only other things I recommend though is when you're on these platforms, these big ones, be very careful getting close to those edges because you can fall off and die pretty easily. Your characters are blind. Doesn't matter if they have dark vision or not, they're blind. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start up this quest. I am going to use Shadowheart because it is hers, and I'm just going to skip the dialogue. So bear with me as I try and get into this really quickly.
Recognize this as a trial.
Alright, let me grab Karlach.
In even the darkest recesses of Lady Shar's embrace.
Like I said, be very careful getting near those edges.
And have faith that she will guide me.
And she was on a platform, so I got lucky. Like I said, I'm being very slow. I'm not trying to rush this. Boom. I'll say be very careful on your edging. Like I said, you can easily fall and die. And now that I'm out there, like I said, I'm only jumping to that corner. I memorized that one spot, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Boom. Sometimes the game does glitch. And this is where I know a lot of people had issues with. It glitches. So, don't matter how much you patch, sometimes it just doesn't work out. So kind of make sure. Oh, I actually made it on. But all you do is just grab that, hit that, sends you back to the back. That way you don't have to try and jump your path back. And this quest is complete. That's one of the trials. There's still a few others, but the puzzles are super simple compared to this one because a lot of people didn't realize this little key right there. And that's all there is to it.